What makes a fun game? Maybe a compelling story, one that makes you really think about the world or situation you're in, or maybe even think about real world situations and events. Maybe it's the beautiful graphics, that when you play the game, your breath is taken at almost every turn, whether beautiful lifelike nature or deep and dark cityscapes. What about solid gameplay, where every keystroke, every button press translates so smoothly in a game that it just creates an amazing gaming experience? Regardless, there are many factors to make a great game. So for me, when I found a mix of Cyberpunk, Doom, and Warhammer all in one game, monkey brain go burr, and $35 disappeared from my bank account, and the game appeared in my library. Now, how'd this game stack up compared to a list of amazing, just beautiful games? Well, it's great. Kinda. Let's talk about that. Hi, welcome to the video. I'm Risen, and I'm a plastic crack at, I mean Warhammer 40k player. I've been playing the hobby since about 2nd grade, starting with Assault on Black Reach. I was young, anything with cool armor and big guns checked all the boxes for me. It wasn't until my brother and I got the Space Marine Codex that I found the lore. And my word, I loved it. Everything was, for lack of a better term, grim. Humanity's greatest warriors were barely holding the line as is, with Space Marines falling to the forces of chaos, crossing the line even more. Not even taking into account the various Xeno races also trying to kill humanity. It looked like a world devoid of hope, yet humanity still held on. I loved it. In fact, I love it so much that I still collect and paint minis, occasionally on stream. My point is, I've been playing 40k for a long time, and the video games as well. Dawn of War Soulstorm was great. Space Marine made you feel like a freaking badass. And there were various others. Of course, Warhammer Fantasy got most of the love in terms of good PC games, but something happened. I found it just recently, before the game came out. Necromunda Hired Gun. It was a light in the forever dark tunnel of 40k video games. The trailer boasting a cool action hero-esque protagonist, Doom Eternal-like combat, and the Underhive setting, which for those that don't know what that is, think of it kind of like Cyberpunk in a way. So how does the game stack up? Well, let's just say I found myself enjoying every second of the game. Let's talk about the gameplay first. Gameplay, as I previously mentioned, is very similar to Doom Eternal, with fast-paced and advanced cybernetic movement, different abilities, and brutal executions, and taking from Space Marine and Doom, with every execution, you would gain health. Honestly, combat in general very much relied on execution. Enemies could be very bullet spongy, so being able to kill them quickly and brutally was always the best alternative if you could do so. There's also a variety of upgrades ranging from combat-based ones, more character-based ones like the amount of health you have and your movement, and in general just a good selection of upgrades you can make to your character. Wait, whoa. Before I forget, I need to talk about the guns. I'm not going to pull your leg. The sandbox is relatively small with only 18 guns that you can collect. 18 guns with, if I'm remembering correctly, 5 different, tiers of weaponry. Think Battle Royale games. You have your gray guns, your blue, your purple, your yellow, you get the idea. However, what really made the sandbox work so well was the amount of upgrades and attachments available for these weapons. Just adding a simple laser sight or a different optic could almost change the way the gun works. Adding an optic to a bolter makes it, pretty good for single tap fire, but trying to shoot really quickly at any form of long range immediately loses all effectiveness. And not to mention, almost every single gun I used was, for the most part, reliable and good even later in the game. Yes, I found myself, just sticking to the bolter and a couple main weapons, but my point stands, all of the guns were really, really useful no matter what point you were at in the game. So whether you use a shotgun, auto gun, or whip out the bolter, all guns are effective and fun to use. So For all intents and purposes, there's no shortage of fun, internal exploding, body dismembering weapons at your disposal. So, though I do admit after I found the bolter, I mainly use that. One thing I will also mention is there is actually a pretty small selection of enemies. There's mainly grunts, sergeants, Goliaths, and big mech boy things. There's also some psychers, and I believe every mission has a boss of some sort. Those are the primary things you'll have to fight. Now, while this might seem like it would get boring, it actually, to a degree, plays to the game's strength. The total playtime of the game is pretty short, with my main playthrough, my first playthrough, being about 7 to 8 hours. So for all intents and purposes, the small enemy pool really does help just for that first playthrough. I do admit, any form of playthrough afterward, I have a feeling could get pretty boring. Some problems, though, that I found very, very quickly upon downloading the game. The animations can get a little bit, shall we say, clippy. And by clippy, I mean I have clipped through the map while doing execution animations. Obviously, the game, upon realizing, hey, you're not supposed to be there, will teleport me back into where I'm supposed to be. But it's always weird gazing into the warp every time I execute an enemy near a wall. Also, the textures of the NPCs and enemies in the game are very hit or miss, with the shop owners having the best graphics. Not gonna lie, Bartender Waifu is a top-tier waifu, sitting right next to Commissar Lillian and the Emperor himself. Meanwhile, characters like Jericho look like they are made of Play-Doh. Okay, so probably the biggest area the game really fell short, in my opinion, was the story. There's not much to say. It's pretty straightforward. Your character takes a mission, your team that you were with dies, you meet some killer assassin guy with a huge sword, and Cal Jericho saves you with a doctor and cybernetics. You start taking missions and start reluctantly working with Cal Jericho. Your end goal is to kill someone called the Silver Talon. If you can't tell, story-wise, it's not super great. You play this game for the carnage, though. That you don't play this game for an amazing, immense story. You play it because you want to rip and tear. Don't get me wrong, there are some memorable characters. Again, Cal Jericho and Bartender Waifu are top tier. And let me not forget the Chad Jado. Listen, Jado is by far one of my favorite NPCs. While Bartender Waifu is great, Jado is he's so freaking cool. He is a dome runner, essentially the person that goes ahead of you to put the green beacons for the path that you're supposed to follow. He's just a cool character. He has a cool design. He also has a giant sword. Just listen, somebody find me a poster of Jado. That's all I want. That's all I want. Somebody make it happen. Other than that, I do want to just bring up probably my favorite mission. I don't get scared easily in games, but this mission genuinely had me shivering. The mission is simple. You're sent underground into a sewer-like area where for the first time there are little to no enemy. All that's left down there is just a bloody mess in something's devastating wake. You start fighting weirdly dressed psychers until it appears, a gene stealer. On tabletop, gene stealers are nothing to really worry about, but when you're in the Underhive and you're not a super soldier, something that normally you wouldn't think of as super scary suddenly becomes one of the toughest, scariest things you will fight in the entire game. The gene stealers are tougher than normal enemies, but not quite as strong as a Goliath. But again, these things are scary. High damage, high speed, and when fighting them, again, I was genuinely scared. It was just intense at all times. I was looking behind my back thinking that I was about to get nommed on. One of the best missions in the entire game by far. And that's actually pretty close to it. I'm sure you guys were expecting this video to be a lot longer, but here's the thing. I didn't come here to analyze everything about each character or, you know, like, go in depth to the lore of the game. Because again, the story as is presented to most people that, you know, maybe don't know a lot about 40K, the story is not that much, I admit. But at the end of the day, you came here to see if this is worth buying. So that's the real question. Is it worth buying? In my personal opinion, yes. Just, I spent $35 on a game. I will probably only play through once or twice. But my word, it was just so good. Bugs and technical issues aside, the game is beautiful. The game is genuinely beautiful. It's just I can't see myself playing it any more than once or twice. There was not a single moment I did not enjoy playing the game. Even the little side quest things, it was still fun. Again, the executions are beautiful. Muy bien. Give me more. I got mine for 35 bucks, and if you can do the same, I would say go buy it. It's a lot of fun. Obviously, if it's not your thing, don't worry about it. Go play Space Marine, which is another amazing Warhammer game. But still, it's a great game, and if you can get it for 35 bucks, I'd say it's worth the price. And that's just about it. Hey, thank you all for watching. Again, hi, I'm Risen. I know this was a pretty short video. No long, extravagant video. That comes later. But yeah, I just want to get this review out there and share my thoughts on the game that I actually really enjoyed. So if you enjoyed this video and you just kind of want to see maybe more videos like this, or just, whatever content I feel like making at the time, or more gameplay videos, or maybe even more game reviews, because I've actually been kind of wanting to make stuff like this for a while. Regardless, if you enjoyed this video, feel free to hit that like button, subscribe, turn on post notifications. I don't know, free country, do what you want. But yeah, I guess you can check me out on Twitter. I do post there from time to time. Check me out on the Twitch. I stream there weekly. Regardless, thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to chill in the chaos, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a great day, everyone.